speed to the city streets.
The alarm of 9 a.m. rang and you woke up by your beautiful sleep. You looked through the huge window. The curtains were already shut off by your maid. Taking a little to just open your eyes fully, you got up from your warm and cozy bed and walked to the window only to see it was still raining. It's been more than 15 hours that there is raining in your area. You smiled looking at it because the falling of the raindrops on your beautiful garden made you feel relaxed and warm. Suddenly your smile disappeared when you remembered about your dad who had not returned home since last 2 days. Your dad worked for a mafia and he was renowned too. You knew he had many rivals. Last night he told you that he had to go to Italy urgently. Though you tried to stop him a lot, but he didn't listen to you and then promised you that he will be come back soon. But it's been 2 days, he has not returned. You called him many times, but he was not attending the calls. You contacted with some of his men you knew, but they even had no idea where he was, as they had already sent some men to Italy who came back disappointed. Sighing heavily, a tear dropped on your cheeks. You wiped it off and then went to the bathroom to take a quick bath. After some time, you came back and sat on the ornate chair for drying your hair. You applied a lip tint on your soft lips and letting your long and silky hair open, you went to the downstairs after elegantly descending the stairs. Good morning, Miss Juyosa, you said to the old lady who was making breakfast for you. Miss Juyosa worked here in your mansion since you were born. That's why you treated her like your own mom after your mom's death. Good morning, ma'am. Your breakfast is ready. She wished you back with a smile. Oh, Miss Juyosa, I have told you many times that I don't like when you call me ma'am. Please call me Vayan, okay? You said cutely, frowning at her. Okay, Miss Vayan, your breakfast is ready, she said, smiling while placing the dishes in a huge wooden tray. Oh God, why she is so stubborn, you said to her, groaning. Miss Juyosa, please set the table, I'm just coming, you said softly, fetching out your phone from the pocket. While you were scrolling down some funny videos, suddenly your mobile phone rang. Glancing at the caller ID, a big smile crept on your lips and you jumped off from the counter chair excitedly. Dad, why you were not answering my call? You knew Vayani was so scared. Dad, please come back today. Vayani won't have breakfast without you, he said as tears of happiness were rolling down your eyes. I'm sorry, Miss Vayan, but your father is no more. We just wanted to inform you that last night we found him dead near the seashore. I know it's heart-aching, but we want you to stay brave during this difficult time, he said, consoling you. Your breath hitched in your throat and you fell on the floor while your mobile phone was in your right hand, which was shaking badly. You wanted to cry your heart out, but words just stuck into your mouth. You didn't know how to form the words, how to react, or you were just laying on the floor with trembling body. Meanwhile, Miss Juyosa came to you running. Miss Vayan, what happened? Miss Vayan, she was yelling out, but you were not responding her back. Suddenly a doorbell rang. Miss Juyosa got up hurriedly and ran to the door to open it. She opened the door, revealing two men in black suits and black shoes. They looked at Juyosa for a moment and then entered inside. Miss Juyosa let them come in as she knew who they were. Soon an elderly man around 50s entered the mansion. Miss Juyosa quickly bowed down at him. He was Jeon, a notorious mafia whose name was enough to shake the legs of his opponents. He was your dad's best friend. He often used to come to your house to meet your dad. You used to call him Uncle Jeon. After your dad, it was only Mr. Jeon who would treat you like his own daughter and took care of you. "Where's Lee Yan?" he said. His voice was a bit shaky. Miss Juyosa pointed at the kitchen while sobbing heavily. Mr. Jun ran to the kitchen, and there he saw you laying on the floor while your body was shaking badly. Taking a deep breath, he summoned up some courage before kneeling down in front of you. "Oh, my innocent daughter, please get up. Your uncle won't let you stay here. Your life is not here anymore. Come get up, my angel," he said, caressing your hair while tears were rolling down his cheeks. You looked at him with teary eyes and hugged him tightly. "Dad, I want my dad back," you yelled out while sobbing heavily. "Don't cry, my angel, don't cry," he said, rubbing your hair and sighing heavily as he was trying to act normal but couldn't. He wanted to console you, but instead he also started crying seeing you like that. "Boss Italian Mafia has found the address. They will send their men here very soon," he whispered in Mr. Jun's ear. Mr. Jun nodded in yes and then pointed at his man. He had already lost his best friend. No, he didn't want to lose you. Mr. Jun had promised to your dad that he will take good care of you if something ever occurred to your dad, so he was trying to keep his promise. He didn't want you to get into the hands of those mafias. You were taken in a huge mansion, and right now you were sitting on the couch, lost in your own thoughts. Tears were escaping your eyes while you were looking down at the floor. You were an orphan and alone, and now everyone was pity on you. Mrs. June was looking at you sympathetically while controlling her tears. No one there wanted to make you feel more sad or disheartened, so they were pressing their emotions in their heart. But they didn't know that you were already sad and your heart was shattered into millions of small pieces. Your heart was aching and your body was trembling. Suddenly, Jeon Jungkook, an older son of Mr. Jeon, walked inside the living room. The man in the black suit bowed at him, including his little brother Felix, who was looking at you with his twinkling eyes. "She is so beautiful, just like sweet little angel," he said to himself, staring at your pink innocent face. Jungkook stared at you for a while and then looked at his dad, who was sitting next to you, as he was insisting you to have something to eat, but you were not listening to him. "Dad, who is she?" he asked directly to his dad, as he knew that his father never behaved nicely to anyone. Even with his own children, he remained cold and rude. It was bothering him that why his dad was treating you so nicely. This was the only time when you looked up at Jungkook with your big innocent eyes, but soon you looked down as you got scared of his dark, intense eyes. You were scared of him, scared of everyone. You just wanted to see your father. You wanted to hug him tightly. You had nothing to do with your surroundings. You just wanted your dad kissing you on your forehead and then narrating you his bravery stories. You wanted your dad to feed you, bring you a glass of water before you fell into a deep slumber. "She is Yan, my best friend's daughter. She will live with us from now and on," he said in his firm voice, which surely boomed in the whole living room, making all the men to nod their heads in yes in acknowledgement. Suddenly Felix walked to you, as he couldn't see you anyone sad or crying like this. He was 5 years younger than Jungkook, but his actions and behaviors could declare him as 5 years older. "Hey, don't be sad. Don't tell me you're gonna spend your whole life like a zombie here. I mean, it will be so boring if a cute and beautiful girl started acting like Annabelle. By the way, nice meeting you," he said, poking his index finger in your soft cheek. "Oh my, she is so soft," he said loudly and poked your cheeks again, which made Mr. Jeon chuckle. While Jungkook rolled his eyes, you looked up at Jungkook with your big baby eyes, which were showing an unknown fear and nervousness. Well, I have a larger room so you can sleep room if you feel scared sleeping alone. I won't mind sharing it with you, little princess, he said, messing up your hair with a smile. Jungkook moved his finger in his ear as he was getting pissed off now. Enough, get lost to your room right now, he yelled at his younger brother coldly. Felix looked at Jungkook and clicking tongue at him, he ran to his room before blowing a kiss to you. Looking at his both sons, the mafia had already knew that this innocent little girl has already wrapped his sons around her fingers. But what made him hot, that was possessive stare and possessive body language of his eldest son Jungkook, which was never accepted by him. You were taken to your room by Mrs. Jeon. It was a big, beautiful room and it had everything that a girl needed. That night was the most difficult night of your life. You spent the whole night standing by the window while looking at the raindrops. You were missing your dad badly while crying heavily. Suddenly the door opened and someone entered in your room. It was Jungkook who was passing by your room, but hearing your sobbing, he walked inside your room. Looking at you from behind, he sighed as you were still crying heavily. Your dad's soul must be hurting seeing you crying like this, so if you wanna hurt him, continue crying, or if you wanna be happy in your dream, just lay on your bed and sleep, he said softly and then left your room. His statement left you shocked. You quickly wiped your tears and looking up at the sky, you smiled and then lay on your bed after putting on the blanket, and that night you saw your dad in your dream too. It's been 1 year that I have been living in Uncle Jeon's mansion. They all behave so nicely to me except annoying Felix, who irritates me a lot. Felix never leaves any chance to irritate me, but in this 1 year I have been changed a lot. If Felix irritates me, I am also play tit for tat with him. I am not that much innocent and shy anymore. Throughout the year, I gained a lot of confidence and I am living happily with all of them. Uncle Jeon treats me like his own daughter and Mrs. Jeon always bakes cookies and delicious food for me, while Jungkook, even his name makes the shiver rain down my spine. If you ask me about him, then just let me know he is scary as hell. I don't know why he stares at me every time we both encountered. His dark eyes had many secrets, tales untold. I don't know what clearly, but I guess he's a dangerous mafia more than his dad. The men who work under Mr. Jeon doesn't tremble by Uncle Jeon's name, but I witnessed them trembling by Jungkook's name. This man is really something. His presence is enough to goosebumps on my skin. I sighed at my thoughts while choosing a white floral frock that reaches above my knees, applying lip tint and pink blush on my cheeks. I left the room and then walked downstairs. There Miss Angelina told me the head boss is waiting for me in the dining room. Well, in Uncle Jeon's family they don't have breakfast if one person is left from the dining table. I nodded with a smile and then walked to the huge dining table, which was filled with aroma of mouth-watering food. Good morning, everyone. I wished them to which they all wished me back except Jungkook, who was staring at my face. I quickly sat on the chair beside Felix, who gave me a toothy grin, which I returned him quickly. Uncle Jeon and Jungkook were discussing about their mafia business while Felix was stealing kimchi from my plate. There is a lot in the plate, then why you are stealing mine? I said, pinching his hand that was sneakily trying to steal my kimchi. If there is a lot in a plate, then why you don't take it for yourself and let me eat this peacefully? Come on, you selfish. Share your food with me, he said, snatching my plate. And there my drama starts. I started to cry fakely while rubbing my eyes. What happened, sweetie? Why are you crying, my dear daughter? He said, placing his fork on the table. They are fools, Dad. Don't take it seriously, he said, giving me a dark gaze. He called me fool. Is he insensate? How dare he to call me fool? I glared at him, holding my fork in a grip. I looked at Felix, who gave me a side eye before grinning. This idiot Felix always snatched something from my plate, and that breathtakingly handsome Jungkook is staring at me again. He speaks less, but whenever he speaks, his deep husky voice makes my legs. He is honestly breathtaking, and sometimes I wish to see him as my groom, but I never told him about my feelings, as he is a mafia and he has mood swings too. And I am also not in an age to get married, so I'll have to press my feelings until I get old enough to get married. We all had a breakfast, so I was walking back to the living room as it was my TV show time. I have LCD in my room too, but watching shows here has its own advantage. When Jungkook stares at me while studying some important files, his stare makes me feel butterflies in my tiny stomach, so I was going to watch a show in the living room, but suddenly I saw Uncle John was whispering in Jungkook's ear in the garden. His expressions were shocking while his hands were moving fastly as if he was panicking. Letting it go, I walked to the living room where idiot Felix was already sitting watching a horror movie. I walked to him briskly and snatching a remote from his hand, I pushed him to the floor and he winced fakely. I told you several times that it's my time to watch a TV show, then why you are watching movie? Didn't I tell you to stop irritating me? I said, yelling at him loudly. Felix looked at me annoyingly and getting up from the floor, he walked to me with a smirk. I knew he will snatch remote from me, so I started to run around the living room while Felix was chasing me from behind. I was looking back at Felix, who was running behind me like jaguar. I was running so fast as if my life depends on my speed, but suddenly I bumped into someone. I didn't bother to look at the person and tried to run forward, but a gasp left my mouth when I was yanked back and collided with a firm but hard substance. Sweating heavily, I looked up and saw Jungkook staring down at me with his intense dark eyes. He glared at Felix, and the next moment Felix flew away to the upstairs. Jungkook leaned more closer to me, and taking a deep breath, he held my weight. Millions of butterflies started to make their home in my stomach by his touch. Marry me, he said coldly. I frowned, looking up at him. Did he just propose me? No, it's my delusion. What you said, I stuttered badly. He said in his deep voice while staring deep into my eyes. I froze at the spot while my cheeks were heating up. He's so stupid as he doesn't know how to propose a girl even. But you know, I want to complete my studies, then I will you get what I mean. I said, blushing heavily while playing with the strand of my hair. I ain't asked you for permission, I am telling you, he said, rubbing my lips. What? What if I say no? What if I say that I don't want to marry you? You can't do anything, I said, tears dropping down from my eyes. I can do whatever I want, so get ready to be my Levian, and I don't care what you think, he said, moving his hand and then letting go of. He went out the living room. I tried to take a deep breath, but it just stuck into my mouth. I thought that Jungkook was proposing me, but no, he was me. How he could be so mean? Tears were escaping my eyes as I never thought that Jungkook will do something like this. Sobbing heavily, I walked upstairs to my room, and after reaching it, I fell on the bed and started to cry heavily. I couldn't even escape this dark mansion. Thinking of myself as a born cursed, I cried heavily, and I don't even remember when I fell into a sleep. You mumbled while crawling on the bed. His husky voice made you open your eyes wide. You sat on the bed sweating heavily while taking deep breaths. Oh God, it was a nightmare, but what would happen when it turned into a reality? You thought to yourself.